A very warm welcome to the Bayuemas Cricket Oval here in Kuala Lumpur for this highly anticipated Group C clash in the 2026 ACC Women's T20 Premier Cup. I am Ritvik Saxena and we have a phenomenal matchup today as the host nation Malaysia take on Indonesia. Both teams enter today riding a massive wave of momentum, having won 2-2 so far. Indonesia has been absolutely ruthless. They have operated with clinical precision over the past few days, with dismantling Singapore and Kuwait with massive 8 wickets and 10 wicket victories. But today, that red hot Indonesian top order faces their ultimate test. As the home team, they know these conditions better than anyone are challenging them. They are excellent at building pressure, cutting off boundaries, and forcing the batters to make mistakes, which is targeted for Malaysia. Let's see who gets to dictate the terms first. Down to the pitch to my co-commentator Shahidur for the toss.
A very good morning and another exciting game coming up. It's a match which will decide the table topper. We have two unbeaten sides, Malaysia and Indonesia. So the neighbors yet rivals. I'm here for the all-important toss and I have the two captains alongside me. We have Nanda from Indonesia, Mas from Malaysia, and our match referee, Miss Shivani Mishra. So we'll head straight into the toss. Nanda will flip the coin.
Tails is the call and it's a head.
So head.
We like to bowl first.
You'd like to?
Bowl first.
Any specific reasons for that?
Yeah, I think the wicket's pretty good today and I think the outfield a bit slow, so we like to bowl first.
Okay, so you are the table topper, so excited to go in this game?
Yeah, we are very excited to play with Malaysia. It's a big game today and most important thing, we must win the games. Yeah.
Yes, we can sense the rivalry. So any changes in your 11?
Yeah, one change. Chow in for Dara.
Good luck for the game.
Thank you.
So Mas, happy to bat first?
Yeah, very happy because today bowling can, batting can, so we just accept what we receive.
So 100th game for Winifred. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think she a good player. She have a lot of experience, so I hope today I hope today she can bat and then get her 50 for today.
And what sort of a total you'll look to bat first?
Of course, if we bat first, we need to score 120 and above. So that's our target.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
So the news from out here, Indonesia have won the toss and they will bowl first.
That's the news from the center. Malaysia have been put into bat as Aina, Haimzam and Winifred take on the bat with Malaysian bowler coming in at them, Made Putri. It's a contest that we'll be looking forward to for all the up for grabs as the winner of this match takes on the top spot in the group. We go on for the first ball. The umpires giving a stand to the bowler to go ahead and take the charge. Putri with the ball in her hand, all ready to force a fierce bowling and trying to take on an advantage of the early. The umpire takes note and the play begins. Nice ball to start with, and I have my co-commentator Shahidur with me.
So very good morning, everyone. Yes, it's going to be a very good contest between the sides, neighbors, yet rivals. We all know about the rivalry, especially in sports and entertainment as well. And I think both the teams will look to score the points here and stay at the top.
Absolutely, Shahidur. It's all about, like you mentioned, the rivalry as well. Most of the things go beyond sport when you talk about these countries, and I'm sure they would want to come up on top, try to bring their A game as they have been doing so far in the tournament, and try to take that bragging rights home. Putri to Hamiza. Oh, that's been played well with the leg. The fielder will cut it off. The first runs on the board there.
Well, with that single, Aina Hamiza gets off the mark and it will bring Winifred, again very experienced. So I think it's a good ploy for Malaysia, having Winifred and Ainham is opening the bat.
Well, absolutely, Shaidu. They have been experienced batters. There goes the fourth ball. Down the leg side again. The first two balls being a bit wicket to wicket, and she's gone ahead and tried to bring that a bit closer to the leg stump and the pads in the last two balls. We can clearly see the plans that are going on. They want to maintain that line and length, targeting the stumps right off the bat, not trying to give up enough room to the batters. A loud appeal. No reaction from the umpire again. Great bowling this from Putri, and again hitting those stumps, hitting that line, not giving enough chance to Winifred to free her arms. Good bowling this so far.
Yes, absolutely. Putri is so underway. She has already taken 58 wickets, good numbers, and so far she has done a good job.
Oh, there was chance for a run out. The umpire again not interested. Good running this from Malaysia. That's 2 for 0 to end the first. Lee Kiao. Right arm off spin now into the attack from the Nigara end. Trying trying to go in at Winifred. A bit of spin to start the second over. Puts in a bit of a flight. Slight misfield allows the batters to go ahead and take that single.
Very good running between the wickets, good understanding between the two batters. I believe they've spent a lot of time out there together. And it seems in the calling as well, very confident to take that single.
Absolutely, Shaidu. And one good thing that there's no hesitation whatsoever. The moment the call is made, both the batters are clear that they want to take that run. Shows the trust that these two have amongst themselves. Great running so far. Lee Kiao for her second ball. Throws in a bit of a room, cuts it straight to the fielder, no run. The first ball we've seen that is away from the stump so far. Maybe something for them to ponder.
Yes, I think the idea is very simple. You can see a very packed offside field. So they're trying to bowl outside the off stump. And it's just doing the basics right. There's a full toss straight to the fielder, no runs there.
That's there. We've seen the template and the textbook balls being bowled so far, which has actually gotten a lot of spinners a lot of success. Bowling the ball, giving it that flight, trying to make the batter reach, and maybe attempting for a mistake on her fourth ball. Again, pushes it a bit, and there goes for a single. Will be cut by the fielder, just one. This is good bowling and good batting, good cricketing all around.
There's slight misfield as well. The fielder could have done better. As a fielding unit, you need to be very proactive and support your bowlers. And so far, it has been a decent effort from Indonesia all throughout.
Again, charges down the ground. That's a couple of balls in succession that they've gone ahead and charged the ball. Probably because they're seeing how the bowler is just sliding the ball, want to play it on the bounce, not give it enough room for probably an off bounce or something. This is good thinking from the batters. Still economical so far though. On to her last ball down the leg side. The keeper again misses it, allowing for a sneaky single. And leg by is given. So 5 after 2.
Well, five without loss after 2 overs. A very cautious start from Malaysia. I think they are all aware of the importance of early wickets.
Absolutely. It's important that they try to play this bowling attack very carefully with sensible cricket. They don't want to lose out wickets early and put some panic onto the batting unit. But so far, taking a cue from what you've said, right? The singles that we've seen go so far have come off slight misfields. The keeper missing a shot or a fielder missing a ball that has allowed them to go for a single, something to take note of. And
Yes, absolutely. I think as a fielding unit, you need to back your bowlers up, and giving away those extra runs can really hurt you at the end of the game.
absolutely, it's all about fine margins when two top teams play. And these runs, while might not seem much of a difference right now, will prove to be very important later on in the game. Nimade on the third ball against Winifred goes down the ground, tries to cut it. Good field this time, not allowing for a single.
Yes, that was a good looking shot. That ball was traveling, and the fielder did well at point, much better. And I think a lot will depend on this game who will go as the table topper, because you need to carry that momentum going into the second round as well.
Absolutely, coming off a win really helps the team. Oh, that's beautifully played. And again, bit of a misfield, and that goes for a four. First boundary of the innings, and that's a beautifully looking shot for a cut. The fielder, half a chance, but that's raced through the boundary.
Well, again, the fielder could have done better, but again, a very good shot from Winifred, not trying to hit the ball too hard, just pure timing. A shot of elegance there from one of Malaysia's best.
And we saw that where she was trying to get that a couple of balls earlier as well. And this time it actually connects for a four. Good batting so far. A loud appeal. Umpire not interested. Down the leg side.
Good delivery there. And she's getting that hint of movement into the right hander. And we have seen the Malaysian batters struggle against in swing. So definitely Indonesia, they've done their homework coming into this game.
Yeah, and that's been pretty obvious right from the first ball that she's tried to bowl. Attacking the stumps, trying to get that seam movement, hitting the legs to get that LBW onto her last ball against Winifred. Gives her a bit of a room, and the keeper again missing it. Goes for a single, goes to fetch it, and then they run an easy single. 10-0 after three.
Well, we have seen a couple of misfields, and that too from the captain herself with the gloves on, Nanda Sakarini. Well, as a captain, you have a lot of responsibilities on your back, on your shoulders, but then these extra runs might hurt Indonesia. Malaysia on their day can be very dangerous, especially when they're batting first. We have seen them winning a lot of games, especially when they bat first.
Yeah, very well pointed there, Shahidur. When the captain makes certain kind of mistake, it's the entire the team that tries to droop their shoulders, and they also start thinking about it. But again, as they say in cricket, if you take one ball by one ball and completely take your mind off of what happened, Lee Kiao into her second. Lee Kiao to Winifred. Again, gives it a bit of a room. That's good collect. The umpire not interested, but that's a good work. That's quick hands there.
Well, absolutely. The captain seemed to be redeeming herself. She took off the belts in a flash. Again, I'm liking the way she's bowling, Lee Kiao. She's trying to flight the ball and trying to create that gap between bat and pad. She's getting the hint of turn into the right hander as well.
Absolutely. That subtle hint and trying to bowl in the fifth and the sixth stump so that opportunities like these come across where the keeper can collect and maybe an offside, off chance for an off edge as well. Onto a third ball. Again, the same thing. Drives it on just for a single.
It's another good looking shot there. Both the batters are just trying to use their feet, going down to the pitch of the delivery, but it also can be dangerous because the wicket keeper is standing right up there. So the moment you miss, there's no chance going back.
Oh, absolutely. It is essential for you to go ahead and connect that ball. Otherwise, it's a miss. A bit inside. Good shot. Straight to the fielder, though.
So far, it has been a very good offer. She's doing a very good job here with the new ball. It's not easy for a spinner to bowl with the new ball. Doesn't grip that well.
Played along the lines. And that's run beautifully for a four. That is a great shot there. Finally, releasing some bit of a pressure because of a couple of dot balls that had seeped in. A boundary there.
Well, a very good shot. Straight past the bowler. That's one of the safest places to hit the cricket ball. You cannot set a field for that. And great timing as well. Aina Hamiza finding some touch. It's very important as well.
On to her last. Would want to finish off strong. Swing and a miss again. Hits the pads of the keeper, but no danger there. So 15 without loss after the first four. And this seems to be a very close contest so far, something what we had expected. Clearly in the first four, no major chances for the bowling team so far. Can try to get ahead and get those opportunities, sniff a wicket to put some pressure back on Malaysia.
Yes, I think both the teams have the plans put in. For Indonesia, they had to take early wickets. For Malaysia, they had to defend it. So far, they have done well. 15 without loss, decent run rate as well.
Weak out. The golden hoop end. The ball travels fast, this one. Try to release her arms, go for that cut, misses it straight to the keeper.
Well, Putri Suwandewi has bowled well into a third over, only given away 6 runs. But I think every dot delivery ball will be extra pressure on the batters as well.
Absolutely, they would want. That's a great shot there. Again, will be cut off by the fielder, would throw it hard. Easy double runs though. This is great shot there from the batter. And as you were mentioning, 2-3 has been very economical so far. And every dot ball that they would want to get would pressure because they would want to maximize on this open field in the power play. So will tempt them and lure them to make an added extra risk that can get a sniff of a wicket.
Yes, absolutely. And we have seen in the recent past, Malaysia, the moment they lose their first wicket, they always lose few wickets in cluster.
That's absolutely right. That sets in the panic when one of the batters depart from the set's crease and that there's a wide there. Just a bit of a waiver from her line and length, trying to get that back in. On to the third ball. Again, hit it hard. Takes a single.
But Ridvik, coming to that point, every dot ball, it creates that urgency between the batters. We have seen that single. It went straight to the fielder, risks taken. The last thing that Malaysia will need right now will be a run out.
Oh, absolutely, because they've already scored around 19 runs before. Oh, there's a sort of an injury scare there. Fielder down. Fast physio there. But right, Shaidu, coming back, you're absolutely right. But one thing that I've noted is maybe from up here it seems like a risky single, but because these batters have played so much cricket together and are so well in tune, probably for them it's just instinctive to go for that run because their communication has been really good so far.
Yes, absolutely. The communication is good, but at the same time, that risk factor is still there. A good fielder and a good throw. You just need that moment of brilliance from one of those fielders, and your wicket is gone.
You're absolutely right. They need to be cautious though. But so far, what do you make of the pitch and what do you make of the approach that the Malaysian batters have gone ahead with?
Well, the wicket set, Biomass has always favored the batters, especially as the day progresses. It gets harder. gets dried up and very easy to bat on. So I think Malaysia will have a good time. They have seen through the new ball. Usually it moves around earlier in the morning. We haven't seen much of movement today as well. So I think the rest of the batters, they'll have an easy time coming in.
And if I get it right, Shaidu, while you were at the toss, the Malaysian captain mentioned that she wants to get somewhere around that 120 mark. And the way they've bowled in the second innings so far, we've seen that they have been comfortable in defending scores. They defended a score of 103 around Kuwait as well. So they are confident in their abilities. They are confident about their strong advantages. And it's about setting that base up as we continue play. And 2-3 goes for her fourth. Comes down the ground. Just a simple nudge. The bowler does well to dive. No run there.
Yes, and coming to your point, I think Malaysia, they know their strengths. They have a lot of bowling options in their side. So good 6, 7 bowlers who can really bowl the quota of 4 overs. When you have that ability and talent in your team, so you always back your bowling side.
A bit of a hesitation there. Good call in the end. Could have been really close and could have led to a wicket to fall. That's a good call from the non-striker.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to hold back. Couple of dot deliveries, it's okay. And you shouldn't be rushing too much. Malaysia still in pretty much control of the batting.
2-3 coming in for the last ball. Just a backward defense. And that is to end the over. 19 for 0 Malaysia after 5. Just a run rate of less than 4. I think Indonesia would have been proud of their bowling effort so far in the first 5. Try to contain Malaysia to a score of 19 in the first 5 is a good attempt. They already are a bowling unit that once the field opens up, attack and choke those runs and try to put the pressure back onto the batter. So good start this.
Yes, absolutely. I think they've done a wonderful job here. They've soaked up the runs. It has not been easy. A change of bowling as well. It's Priyani, the off spinner. And I think it's a good call. We have seen that ball just slightly gripping a bit onto the wicket.
Yeah, and May Priyani is someone who's been in the thick of the wickets and also been economical so far. So she's been one bowler that has given a lot of confidence back to her captain and has been brought in whenever they are in search of a wicket. So good thinking this, like you mentioned, and you already see that the way she attacks the stumps, the way she just goes direct onto her second. A bit of a room there, played beautifully, would not travel, but just for a single.
And I think it's also with the pace that she bowls. She takes off the pace away from the game. So as a batter, you need to work hard for your runs.
Yeah, and doesn't give much chances to the batter to also give a free shot. So the batter needs to respect the good balls that she bowls. And going for her third to Winifred. Good bowling this. Was swept well, but finds straight the fielder.
Yes, and sharp fielding as well. Good pick up and throw. That's where you need to be very careful with the fielders that you are targeting.
May Priyani to Hamza. Missing her line there a bit. 2 down the leg for a wide. Needs to bring back to the off stump and the middle stump line that they were trying to attack in the first place.
Yes, I think she has been a pretty straight for my liking. I'd like her to bowl towards the 4th, 5th stump line much better.
Absolutely. And you see that when the batter tries to throw her arms around it, there is an opportunity for it to just be mishit or catch that outside edge and go to the keeper. I think she heard you and tried to waver that. 4 balls in, going for the 5th ball. Again, hitting the stumps. Just where you want the batter to be cautious about. This is good bowling. Good comeback, I would say, after that wide.
Yes, absolutely. I think she's a very confident bowler. Sometimes it takes you a couple of deliveries to get your rhythm, and that's exactly what happened.
Full toss there. The fielder didn't do well that for that matter. And like you were mentioning, gone for a boundary to end the over, not what the bowler or the bowling side would have wanted. Completely releases the pressure there. 25 without loss at the end of 6.
Well, that boundary just spoils the over. Straight through the legs. As a fielding unit, you need to be more careful. These are free runs for Malaysia. And like I said, they might hurt you at the end of the game. Every run here is crucial. It's a very important game. Both teams are unbeaten.
And Shahidur, a point that you mentioned in the third ball, if I'm not wrong, where you were absolutely saying that the fielder needs to be very careful because she's seeing the batter sweep the ball. If a slight mistake and there's no cover in the power play, so that straight away goes for a four, and that's what happened. Fielding is something that they need to be very cautious of. A couple of good chances, the keeper redeeming herself through that quick stumping chance, but the overall quality can go top a bit.
As we talk, it's a change in the bowling. It's going to be Ariani coming from the Golden Hope end. More off spin.
Got the outside edge and runs past. Would not cross the boundaries. I think the outfield is a bit slow, but could the keeper could have done better there, or the ball traveled way too fast?
And yes, you have to give a lot of credit to the ground staff. It rained really heavily last night, but then they've done a wonderful job to make sure that the game starts on time.
Absolutely on for her second. Much better line this, much better line. Just a simple nudge to the fielder for a dot ball.
Well, when we talk about Indonesia, I'm very impressed with their progress. They only made their international debut in 2019, and now they're ranked 22nd in the world. So that's one of the fastest growing cricketing nations in this region of the world.
Exactly. One of those breakout stories that you feel proud of and gives you enough impetus as to how the game has grown so far. Absolutely brilliant effort from Indonesia. This even teams like Oman and China who have qualified for the Asian Games. Amazing progress they've made so far. Gives it a bit of a room. A fielder there, slight hesitation, no run.
And I think with all these associate nations, they bring in a lot of passion in the game as well. We have seen the competitiveness and the passion for the game, and it really makes cricket look much beautiful than it is.
Oh, absolutely. Can't disagree more. Just gently taps in for a single.
Well, a decent partnership here for Malaysia, and I think they've done a good job so far. Probably in another few overs, someone has to just throw their hands up and say, I'm going to take the attack to the bowlers because they still have 10 wickets intact.
Oh, I was going to get to that. 7 overs bowled, 28 without loss, and either Winifred or Hamiza would be going ahead and trying to bring in that attacking approach now that they're settled. They've played enough balls, tested the conditions, and are well in their innings to now take that charge so that Malaysia can come on top and try to build a score that puts Indonesia back on the back foot.
Another change in bowling. It's going to be Bangi coming into the attack, right arm leg spin, and I think it's a good change. We have seen two off spinners from both ends, so they're just trying to bring in some variation, which is very important as well. You cannot be too predictive as a bowling unit.
And taking a cue from the last match as well, where she was the player of the match, bowling 4 for 5.
Oh dear. Well, that's a loose delivery, a full toss to start off. That might be called a no ball as well. Yes, confirmation there from the umpire. That's the no ball, and it's going to be a free hit. It will give Winifred the license, or in fact, it's Aina Hamiza who's on strike.
Bangi missing her flight a bit too much on that occasion, but that's what's been typical about.
Oh, that's a freebie. This time, it's going to the fence. Full toss, and Aina Hamiza obliges.
Was going down the ground and great shot that in the end. Bangi also helping with that line, not bowling up to the mark. A clean full toss, swings her arm for a four. Could the fielder could have done better?
Well, that will be very harsh on the fielder. You have to be bowling the right line and length. You cannot be bowling freebies, full tosses.
Oh, absolutely. Needs to bring it back.
Oh, that's the third full toss. She needs to be careful because a couple of beamers and she's out.
Something bothering her, I guess, because she's just not gotten to the ball to pitch. Maybe trying for too much of a flight that helped her on other pitches. Maybe should just bring it back here.
No, I think it's just sweaty palms. It's hot and humid out there. And finally, she pitches one up. Good delivery.
Now that's better. That's better.
And you can see it's very evident she's rubbing her hands on the turf, trying to get that moisture away from the hand. But then it's that kind of a day. It's hot and humid. And that's how it is in Malaysia. Oh, that's pulled away. Again in the gap. This time it will just be a single. Good work done in the deep.
And if we zoom in on her action, right, which we had mentioned in the last match as well, her arm is a bit too straight. So when she bowls in and when she goes in for that release, it's all the wrist work. So if it's not in control, if it's moist and it's sweaty,
Oh, excellent work in the deep. That will lift up the spirits for Indonesia. That ball was traveling for a boundary. She has definitely saved a couple of runs.
yeah, very well done there. She's had a lot of work to do because of the bowling line so far, but that's great effort to save 2 runs for the team.
There goes the wrong one. Came back in. Good bowling there. And good variation as well. As a leg spinner, you need to have the subtle variations, but it only gets the effect when you pitch them at the right areas.
Oh, absolutely. When you get that ball to bounce at the place that you're wanting, only then will it help. Again, down the leg, fielder will cut it only for a couple again. And the story is clear in the past 5 balls. Just not getting a line, just not getting a length. Maybe the over that Malaysia were looking for.
Yes, absolutely. That just is the equation for Malaysia. Run rate now going up to 5 runs per over. An expensive one, 12 of it. And they have kept Ramawati very busy as well in the deep.
Yeah. Need to get that hold back on. So maybe, again, a bowling change there from the captain. Proactive thinking this. Ariani for her first ball. Again, the line has been so key so far in the bowlers who've actually done well and the bowlers who've actually given a bit of a runs. So something that they can see of the team players and get that right because that will be very important now that again goes through the keeper's legs, gives away a quick single there.
Well, the skipper, she's not having a good day behind the stumps. We have seen a few fumbles and very basic ones.
Should have done better. These are things that you expect her to do well, things that probably deserve her stature too. Again, pulling that line a bit, pulling a bit shorter, just gently played it on the leg side to grab a quick 2 runs. This is great batting and great mental thinking as well.
It's absolutely just playing it with soft hands and picking up the gaps. Cricket is not only about hitting boundaries, but if you can score singles and doubles, you can at least score 120, which is more than enough on wickets like this.
And we talked about the experience that these two batters come in with. So they have that mental awareness that the previous over had gone for runs. They need not take many risks against a good bowler and just try to build that, try to rotate the strike to not put pressure on either of the two. It was good batting and a good comeback too from Ariani. Winifred taking her time.
I think both the batters are well set out there. And you can see they're playing with much fluidity. It's very easy taking those singles and doubles, keep the scoreboard ticking. That's what they need.
Absolutely. And for these singles as well, they're not doing something which is way too risky. Just playing those textbook shots, playing to the field, which is very important as a batter, to not put pressure on for risky runs and just getting those runs in easily onto her last to end the over. Gives it a bit of room. Good drive. Straight to the fielder and a bit of a fumble, but there it is. A dot to end the over. 9 overs, 44 for 0, Malaysia. And Indonesia in a desperate need of a wicket now, almost at the halfway mark, and would want to get some wicket and a breakthrough to put some stop on the Malaysian run flow.
So it's a dangerous partnership growing here for Malaysia. 44 without loss. This is one of the best starts they had in this tournament. We have seen them losing early wickets in the previous two occasions. And just on the right time, probably they've clicked.
Yeah, when it was absolutely needed against a tough opponent, right? You want to get that confidence back and you want to get a good start because teams like Indonesia, if you don't start well, can completely take you out of the game right off the bat. Mapriani into attack. Tight angle that in a tight line length, not giving enough room to spread her arms, just gently tapping that in.
That's a good delivery to start off. And it's a much better length. Just pushing the batter onto the back foot. This time she goes much closer. Good variation as well. So sometimes as a batter you get a bit tentative with certain variations as well.
Or for things like that mattered, like bat on a pad and might just easily play onto the stumps as well if you're not careful.
Good use of the feet. They're looking for the second. There was never a second one there. And I think with a good start, Malaysia will need to be very careful. They have set the tone here. So they might be looking for a big score, but at the same time, if they lose wickets in clusters, that's where they will lose their way back into the game.
Again, swept well. The fielder will cut it just for a single. You're right, Shaidu. They have gone to the drawing board and have seen that weakness of theirs where they've gone ahead and lost wickets in clusters, something which has probably been there in the back of their mind and they are very cautious, which has also given them results so far. Gives them a good base to set and try to go on for that 120 score they were looking on.
Full toss and driven to long on for a single. So one more delivery to go before the drinks break. And I think the players, they deserve a drinks break. It's very hot and humid out there.
In addition to that, maybe Indonesia can use it to just come up with a plan of sorts to get those wickets. And how many times have we seen batters drop a wicket on the first ball after drink? So something what Indonesia would be hoping for.
Yes, it's all about focus. But for now, we'll be focusing on the drinks. It's time for a break. We're halfway there, 47 without loss as we head into a drinks break. And we'll come back on the other side. Well, we are back, and the drinks were served, and a well-deserved break for the players and us as well in the com box. A very important match between the host Malaysia and neighbors Indonesia. We're at the halfway stage, 47 without loss. Winifred on strike. Oh, good feeling.
Certainly, there. Like it's important for Indonesia now to try and catch hold of these next 4 overs, where probably the Malaysian batters would come out all blazing, trying to get those attacking flows in. So a good phase of play coming up for all of you, and to see who comes out on top and gets that advantage.
Good use of the feet once again. Going to the pitch of the delivery. This is smart batting. Malaysia well in control.
One thing that we've seen so far, Shaidur, is that they've been very clinical in the use of feet, not mistimed it a bit, and come in for the good balls, respected the ball quality, and only then made a feet use of the feet. So good batting this, and it certainly says the score they are in.
Yes, absolutely. And you need to be brave as well. It's not an easy task, especially going against a spinner when the wicketkeeper is right up there.
Just good 4 balls so far from Lee Kiao.
It's a decent over. Good comeback from Indonesia. Again, just trying to hit the ball too hard.
Yeah. Trying to stretch those arms a bit too much. Is that something that they probably have discussed in the drinks break, where they wanted to toss the ball probably off the fourth stump?
Yes, probably. I think the idea is to push them to make that mistake. Because so far, the Malaysian batters, they have looked very comfortable. End of the over. It's 48 without loss.
How important it is to keep tinkering with your strategic plans mid-game basis the context, which they have done so far. They have respected the context, and they've tried not to go ahead and bring in a lot of experimentation, which probably gives them a good base, and from now on they can accelerate a bit more.
Yes, I think they need to plan and approach how they're going to go, especially in the next few overs. They have 10 wickets intact and a lot of batters in the Malaysian lineup as well. So I think sometimes you need to play for the team, and you might be sacrificing a wicket or two in here.
For sure, like we mentioned, both these batters have now played 40 and 30 balls respectively. So good enough time to test the conditions, go for it.
Well, she went for it and she goes out. Good catch.
This is a sharp catch there. The fielding, for that matter, hasn't been very impressive, but a good catch taken to bring them their first breakthrough will give a lot of confidence and a lot of hope now back to clutch this game and try to hop on that tendency of Malaysia to lose quick wickets and go out of the game. An interesting time ahead.
Well, Winifred, she departs for 25 of 40. Decent innings. Well, she soaked in the pressure earlier on and was trying to get on a move. Then she perished. And it's going to be the skipper who will walk in, coming into bat at number 3, Marcelisa.
Right. And you need to think about the strategy and the point they have in their mind as well. Even she must be feeling she's played enough balls to now go for it. And a choice that is absolutely okay, even if it goes down the wicket route, because like you mentioned, they had 10 wickets in hand and the captain comes in. It gives them the opportunity to now accelerate. So didn't go her way as she must have expected or rather hoped, but nonetheless goes for it.
Yes, and I think it's just the right time for the skipper to walk into bat. She's the number 1 batter for Malaysia with the most runs under her belt, 1,649 runs, averaging almost 20. Decent numbers.
Yeah, she could probably make use of those numbers a bit today as well, because the team needs it if they want to get that stretch score of 120, 130 maybe, but a bit acceleration needed, a quick fire knock needed.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's all about having that momentum going into the break. And if they can score 120, 130, they'll have that psychological advantage. Good start. Oh dear, this could be a run out. A better throw there.
maybe a direct and she was gone. Needs to just get that settled in. Need not take chances of the first ball itself. Just assess the conditions, see the thing, and then go for it. Probably will be a more sensible approach.
Well, that's how she likes to bat, Marcelisa. She's a very busy cricketer, loves to run between the wickets, not someone who looks for boundaries. So she will be keeping all the fielders on their toes.
Yeah, and Winifred and Hamiza had done well to keep that running momentum go along the two batters. So she just needs to build on that and take some time out.
Oh, that's a good delivery. It just kind of stuck into the wicket.
And a sudden bounce there. Didn't expect for the ball to bounce that high, and a miss hit there of sorts gives them a single, gets Hamiza on strike.
Yes, I think Aina Hamiza right now, she's the set batter. She needs to face most of the deliveries if possible. There you can see the Malaysian dugout. Very relaxed today. And so far, I think it has went in their favor. 49 for 1.
8 overs left in the game. Would be looking, the batters and the captain out there would be looking to get that 110, 120 score from here on.
It's 120 on a wicket like this, and with Malaysia's bowling attack, will be very challenging for Indonesia. But take nothing away from Indonesia, they have that explosive batting at the top order. So it's going to be a good contest between bat and ball.
With that, Radha Rani for Indonesia comes into the attack to get that ball rolling. Would want to now capitalize on the wicket that fell in the last over and try to keep on a hold of runs so that that puts a lot of pressure on the batters and makes them to do some mistakes.
Well, they're just taking a bit of time. I hope the umpires are okay with that. Oh, quick run once again. Good running between the wickets. Good call as well.
Which we were talking about earlier on. Like once they settle in a bit, the running has been top notch so far. So just need to get that communication right, and that's probably what we saw there. A quick, easy single, no threat there. Good batting.
And with that single, it's 50 up for Malaysia as well. 50 for 1. Good delivery.
And Shaidur, with all that explosive batting that we see in T20s today, right? Somewhere down the line, we miss the importance of strike rotation and how important it is in an innings to keep on taking singles and not put that pressure on you. Something that they have taken note of and using it well to their advantage today.
Yes, you're right. And there she goes. Aerial. Didn't have the power. Just a lofted shot in the gap and a single. Yes, I think it's very important to score singles and doubles as well, especially when you have not been able to pick up boundaries. Because playing too many dot deliveries will put a lot of psychological pressure on the batter, and we have seen even the best in those conditions get out.
Certainly there. And when you take singles, it also puts a psychological pressure on back to the bowler as well because they feel they're trying their best to get that wicket. But when you play it easily for a single and rotate the strike, showing that you've not been attacked by it and not been affected by it, goes on to put in more experiments for them to come in and make a mistake there.
Yes, can't agree more on that. I think it's all about psychological game. Cricket is not only about skills, but mentally you need to be very strong as well.
And these are there, just taking her time. Hasn't got her time to be 100% perfect so far in the short 6 ball innings. We'll be looking to better that.
This time it's cut away, slightly aerial. Again, missed time. I think she's just trying to hit the ball too hard. I think as a batter, you need to rely on your timing as well, especially when you have just walked into bat, end of the over. It's 52 for 1.
Right, taking a cue on that, like you mentioned, you need to rely on that timing. We've seen boundaries come in when the batters have relied on the boundary in the first phase of the game. So there is a lot to offer. Need not muscle that ball way too hard and try to fetch that boundary. They will come in if the shot selection and the timing is right. Something for Elisa to just look in and tinker a bit. She's an experienced batter and she's a smart batter. Surely she will do that.
Well, absolutely. Talking about timing, it reminds me of a youngster from Japan. Her name is Ayaka Kato Stafford. She was playing in this ground and I was commentating. She scored 84 runs, all based on timing. Oh, that's a big appeal and she's gone. Well, we're talking about the cluster of wickets. There goes another one.
And that to the captain this time. Didn't seem at ease at all through her 8 ball innings. Missed timings and trying a bit too hard on this occasion. Going down the ground, changing the shot selection, the ball hitting the thigh and completely gone. Plumb in front.
That was definitely hitting the stumps. Well, coming back to Ayaka Kato Stafford, she's just 16 years old, young batter from Japan, and she's all about timing. Not She doesn't try to hit the ball too hard, and the ease with which she was scoring the boundaries was phenomenal to watch. And I'm very excited to see her again.
Good to know that she's also a young batter because the way the game has basically transformed in the last 8 to 10 years, much of the youngsters today want to get that slog power and that hard hitting nature in their game. So, really, really good and glad to see that she's built on that. And we are seeing youngsters do so well in the format of this game. In the men's cricket, you see Vaibhav Suryavanshi, a similar kind of player, relying on that timing, relying on that shot selection, and he muscles the ball into the third and the fourth stand.
Yes, he's having a bit of both. It's technically correct, and at the same time, he has that muscle power as well. If you are missing one of them, then you need to work on. That's a good looking shot. That's in the gap as well. Just a single again. Good start here for Mahira Izati.
Indonesia have done well so far in the game after the drinks break. They've gotten 2 quick wickets and would want to now put a chokehold to try to restrict them under 190 so far.
And I think one of the main reasons for there's going to be a couple of runs. I think one of the main reasons for the fall of wickets is also the dot balls, especially after the drinks break. I think they have soaked in the pressure, they have reduced the flow of runs. That's where the batters have made mistakes.
And that connects onto the ball that we just saw where the keeper again missing the ball, running behind her, and the batters taking a quick double does not help the cause where you want to choke them.
Good looking shot there. Went to the fielder, but again, much better timing. Just not trying to hit the ball too hard. You need to get your basics right. Last delivery coming up, 56 for 2.
Mapriani has done really well getting both that wickets, and she's been a wicket taker for them.
Oh, that's a cheeky shot. That might go for runs. In fact, 4 of them. Good shot to end the over. Good use of the feet once again. The paddle sweep. Well, that came out of nowhere.
Mapriani just missing on to her line on that occasion. Would not have wanted that to be the ending of her quota, but she ends 2 for 18 after her 4, 60 for 2 after 14 Malaysia.
That's a good day in the office for her. Sang Ayu. 4 overs, 18 runs, 2 wickets. I think she'll take it.
Oh, and she's throughout this tournament, she's been one of those who has been very dependent and very reliant from a captain's point of view. So, again, holding on to that.
That's a good start to the over. Again, right on the money, right on the stumps. That's a good ploy, attacking the stumps.
Yeah, this is something that they need to do. Attack that stumps, not give enough room to spread their arms, take those singles, maybe block in a couple or three or dot deliveries on the trot.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That was a very good looking shot. Hit the stumps at the other end.
Like they say, a bit too straight on that occasion. Could have fetched a couple of runs had it run, or maybe a four, but stopped by the wickets, which also leads to a dot ball.
That's aerial. It's gone over the infield. Couple of runs here. And Aina Hamiza trying to take the attack to the bowler.
And you could see on that approach as well, a couple of dot balls, and she was a bit panicky on that occasion, trying to go that aerial route, trying to attack and put that pressure back onto the bowler to not try to settle her in after the first two good balls. Great contest this as we expected so far.
Use of the feet once again. Well, Aina Hamiza, she has put on her dancing shoes. A single, but then I still like the intent.
And that's been something that has fetched her a good amount of confidence as well so far. I'm yet to see a ball or a two where she used those feet and did not try to get the timing right. So it's helping her bat stroke as well.
That's going to be a wide. Well, extras just coming at the right time for Malaysia.
And taking on that tactical feed that you mentioned, right? Once you do that, once you come down the ground a bit too much, it also tempers the bowling line and length of the bowler, giving you those extras, trying to change it with what happened just to that ball.
Yeah, it just puts more pressure on the bowler, trying to figure out something different. Just like that, he just dragged the length a bit.
Right, because once you come down the ground, you basically neutralize all the effect that the ball is going to have after it bounces or the way it bounces. So great thinking and yeah, missing it a bit for the bowler there to try and experiment something.
But somehow Malaysia, after such a strong start, they won't be happy with this, and they won't be happy with this short top edge and a simple catch. And it's the set batter, Aina Hamiza, who departs.
And all sorts of trouble now for Malaysia. Not the continuation they would have wanted after the drinks break. And like Shahidur mentioned, has been a story for them and it continues to be so despite a strong start and not losing a wicket up until the 10th over. They have now lost three in the set tone of 5 overs with the captain and the two openers now gone and a new fresh of pair 65 for 3 and 15.
Malaysia just losing momentum here. Dhanusri, another youngster, walked into bat. She will be partnering Mahira Izati. And this will be five crucial overs for Malaysia. They're 65 for 3. There were 47 without loss going into the drinks break. And since then, it has all been Indonesia.
Also now a point for them to also discuss between the two because there were stages at one point where we were talking about the score of 110, 120, but now with just 5 overs and fresh new batters, they would want to come to a score which for them seems safe and then try to launch an attack to get any bonus after that.
Use of the feed. This time she finds the gap. That will be a boundary. Yes. Desperate attempt there. But that ball was always traveling. Good timing.
Yeah, I would say valiant effort there. Like you said, the ball was also always traveling, but threw in the dive, tried to make that ball not cross the rope, but good effort, but 4 runs.
Well, a boundary just at the right time for Malaysia. That too of the very first delivery. This will help the cause. The score now 69 for 3. Can they get past 100?
They would be looking for. Anything around 100 gives them enough room to get those early wickets and try a strong hold when they come into bold.
There's something for the bowlers to bowl at. You need to have at least 100 runs, especially on a good batting track like this.
And they have defended 103, though against Kuwait, but a very strong opposition. This not the same match.
A top edge once again, mistimed, another wicket. Oh, Malaysia, they're losing their way, and it's Mahira Izati who departs.
It's all deja vu. She was looking in good touch, but again, like the way we've mentioned, the same story unfold in the third game as well. Strong start, but now everyone kind of throwing the wicket in, not wanting to stay till the last over.
Yes, it's all about game awareness. Yes, they want to score quick runs, but not at the cost of throwing wickets. They were doing very good scoring singles and doubles. You just scored six singles in an over. That's 6 runs for you.
Absolutely. And you mentioned about game awareness. It's not a game that is simply just played with the hands and the feet. You need to play it with the mind where she was looking in good touch. Had she stayed on till the very end, probably could have gotten them onto a good score. But now, both the batters, 0 of 0, haven't faced a single ball. This phase of the game looking very tough for Malaysia now.
And you have to give a lot of credit to the Indonesian bowlers as well. TKL bowls a full toss with that. Aina Najwa, the wicketkeeper batter, gets off the mark. And she has been impressive. Lee, she's bowling her fourth over, only giving away 12 runs and a wicket.
The choking point that we were talking about, how being economical, even though you don't get wickets, gets so many opportunities for you later on in the stage where you can actually capitalize. And that's how she's done. She's gotten her first wicket in the fourth over, but all credit to the first three tight overs that she bowled.
Attempted sweep, that will be a wide down the leg side. Yes, I think she has been the architect of getting the wickets because it's those dot deliveries that put the pressure on the batter, which allowed the batter to lose wickets on the other end.
Generally, right. That said, when you make a lot of pressure from one end, they try to go in and attack on the other, which gives them a lot of scope to falter and get those outside edges, top edges, and get for that wicket, like the way we've seen in the last 2 or 3 wickets in that manner.
But still, they have some wickets in hand, and if Malaysia can get past 100, we have a very good match in our hand. Good end to the over. Another dot. So that will be the end of her spell. 4 overs, 15 runs, and a wicket. Another good day in the office for the spinner.
Last 4 overs, Shahidul, what do you think should be the discussion between Aina and Dhanushri? Should one of them go for it all out, guns blazing, or should they try to just settle in for a couple of overs and both of them launch an attack in the last two? Good to see how they approach the last phase of the game to try to get that stretch score of 100,
Yes, I think for Malaysia, they can only blame themselves. The batters, they just throw the wickets. We have not seen the bowlers doing something very special. Yes, they have done the basics right, which is to bowl as many dot balls as possible, especially after drinks. Another attempted sweep, another wide.
The keeper there trying to deviate the umpire from that call with an appeal there, but no doing. A wide given.
That's cheeky. And definitely a lot of cricketers these days, they do the same, just trying their luck if they can get out of the situation. It's smart. It's just a smart thing to do. Sometimes they get away as well. Oh, that's a big appeal. That looked really close from up here.
Yeah, it's all about throwing your hands in the air and trying to get those reactions from the umpire, putting it out all there. But yeah, good ball that on attacking the stumps, not giving enough room.
Much better. Excellent over this. Dot deliveries into the 17th over. This is absolute gold dust for the bowler.
Dot deliveries are the way forward for them now. And because those are the balls that put the maximum pressure on the Malaysian batters, and anything off, it's again a great field. Put in that dive, save the ball from running to the boundary, and you can hear the cheers from the dugout. They're really glad that the fielders are now putting all their bodies onto the ground and trying to stop as many runs in this phase of the game as they can.
But I like the fact that Malaysian batters are also trying to score some runs here. They're just not looking for the boundaries, going for singles and oh, this could be close. Oh, she was out by a mile. She was not even in the picture.
A direct hit and it was gone. And again, we saw a slight bit of hesitation, which we didn't see in the earlier batters, probably because they've not been settled and they don't know enough balls to communicate that well. But probably would have gone.
And it's also the scoreboard pressure, Ridvik. It's all about pressure and how you deal with it.
Great bowling, this great bowling. Putting that pressure on, like you mentioned, attacking the stumps, trying to get the sniff of a wicket. Aina and Dhanushri would be looking and being desperate to get that shackles broken, get that one hint of a hit.
It's cut away straight to the fielder, no runs there. And again, you can see from the body language of Indonesia, that's really changed over the course of the last few overs.
That's right. You can see how upbeat that was. Quickly took the ball and a quick pickup, quick throw, and on the money. They are looking for that 3 overs. They know that Malaysia are under pressure and want to capitalize on it. Go for it and get that third win today on the trot. How well does a momentum like that and beating a strong team, the host nation, does to the chances and the psyche of the team?
Yes, and they have a very good rivalry as well. Before this game, both the sides they have faced off in 4 matches, 2 matches each. So this could be the decider.
Right, all about those bragging rights in the end. Want to get that hold on the rival side, which also helps if they meet or rather play again in the later stage of the tournament because all these things play in your mind no matter how hard you try to reflect them.
Yes, absolutely. Whoever wins this will have the psychological edge going into the second round, and also if they ever meet again in this tournament.
Wanting to go for a double, but the striker not at all interested. Clearly not a double there. Aina would be looking to get that strike off. Try to go for a big hit.
Oh, she has cleaned her up. That's timber. You miss, I hit.
And that was a nothing of a shot to begin with. Straight at the stumps and going for the cut, trying to give herself room, and that attempt straight on to the wickets.
Yes, poor shot selection. That was not a delivery to cut. Right onto the stumps. The ball just came back from a good length.
And there the story continues. Just not found their groove. The runs have not been coming after that first wicket, and something they would not at all be happy with. Like we mentioned, 50 without loss to 77 for 5. A little more than half the runs for 5 wickets fallen so far. Not a good sight.
Yes, but you need to give a lot of credit to the Indonesian bowlers as well. I think they have done the hard work. They have stopped the flow of runs, which created that urgency in the batter's mind, and they fell for the trap.
Right, but that is well straight to the keeper, misses it. And that's what good teams do. Good teams build their character bases, their own advantages, and do not get flustered by a specific section of play. Clearly on the back foot after the first 10, but they got themselves together after the drinks break and attempted those plans and executed them perfectly, which is a hallmark of a great side.
And how well did Aryani bowl? She's into her third over, only given away 9 runs and a wicket. These are the type of performances that really builds up the momentum and the spirit for the team. And she has not tried to bowl too slow. She has been firing the ball in, which is a good change of pace as well. End of the over, 78 for 5.
Right. Good thinking, good bowling this. And we were talking about the growth of this team earlier in the day, and we were talking about how well they've done in the brief short span of time. And when you see cricket like this being played, you absolutely relate and see how well it has gone in tandem. All good play, and you see that all deserving of it.
Yes, absolutely. I think with time, uh, they have really improved. Now ranked 22nd, whereas Malaysia still at 28. Oh, well bowled. Right in the block hole. A yorker from a spinner, rare sight.
Trying to take that charge on now, going in aggressive. They know Malaysia is on the back foot, would want to try those off balls and try to get that wicket. Good attacking intent this.
Use of the feet once again. Well, I think it's important to use your feet, but it's also important that you execute it right. Just go down the track and the ball hits your pads. It's gonna damage your confidence as a batter.
It's like a lucky seven lot. If you hit it at the jackpot, if you don't, it's a miss. So on to a third.
That's aerial, just short of the fielder. Again, no timing. Fortunately for her, if she had timed that, that would have gone straight to the throat.
Right. The fielder was placed perfectly in the side of the ball, just a couple of bounces onto her. And talking about this pullback, how great has been the captaincy to get the right changes of the ball and get those bowlers to bowl in the phases of the time where they see they will be the most advantageous.
Yes, I think she has made the right calls. Yes, not a great day for her with the gloves. Then she has taken the right decisions at the right time. And it's always important to know how to circulate your bowlers. And another wicket. Another wicket. Oh, Malaysia, they're losing the way.
And like we were just mentioning a short while back, use of the feet really good when it comes off, but when it doesn't on occasion like this, not a sight you would want to see. Malaysia in all sorts of trouble now.
Again, you can question that shot. It was a straight delivery, trying to hit the ball on the onside. And look at her head. She she was all over the place.
Right, pressure, pressure. Like we said, runs not coming in, boundaries not coming in, and wanting to break that shackle. Just go all in. 80 for 6. One ball remaining for the 19th, and not a good sight for Malaysia at all, as we mentioned. On to her for her last ball. She's been good. This time, then she will end her spell on a lovely 2 for 14 after 4, taking the wickets, being economical. She's done well to put that pressure on. End of the 19th, it's 80 for 6.
It's excellent job done here by Fitria Radharani. Good spell. Once again, the spinners have done a wonderful job here for Indonesia, especially the off spinners.
Right. We saw that off spinners get that hold, get that bounce off from the pitch, and that certainly helped them. And talking about the captaincy, like we were mentioning a while back, the captain saw Radha Bangi not having the day that she would have hoped for, the leggy, and quick to pounce on the plan and try to tinker it if something didn't go well and bring in the off spinners back into the game. Good thinking, good bowling all round.
Yes, and I remember that one over from the leg spinner. She went for 12 runs, and straight away she made that change. And since then, I think every call that she took worked in her favor. Ariani will continue in here. Again, flat delivery. This time, it's played in the gap. They might be going for the second. Oh, good running.
Fast running this. Was very sure she wants to come back for the double. As soon as she hit that, was charging on to the first and then could see in the end was well home by the ball travel to the keeper's end. Good running, good intent. Would need more of this in the last five if they want to reach a score of 90.
Let's cut away into the gap. This time it's good timing. This might run away. Oh, the ball just stopping before the ropes. They will settle down for a couple of runs. Well, Malaysia at one point they were looking to score at least 120. Even we're talking about 130, and from there, not being able to reach even 90 will be a real setback for them.
Gaps for them to notice and the gaps that they're aware of. But it's logical for Dhanushri to stay in the strikes with taking a couple.
Use of the feet once again. Singles are not going to hurt Indonesia.
Shahidur, last four balls of the innings, beg your pardon. Should have she taken the strike and avoided that single?
Can't agree more on that because she's the set batter right now. She's played the gamble and it didn't work out. But good thing, now she's back on strike. So she still has two delivery to go.
Story of the day for the keeper not having the best of the day on their field, and which allows Dhanushri to come back on strike for the last two balls will be very important. The feed goes down the ground. Just a single, that too again. So on the last ball, it will not be her to face the ball.
Well, Noor Tanya, she needs to take the responsibility. She's a capable batter, but it's not easy to go straight in and start hitting boundaries. We have seen most of the batters struggling with that. And that will end with a dot ball. Indonesia will be very happy with that. 87 is what Malaysia managed to score of the 20 overs. They were 47 without loss after 10. And then a wonderful fight back from the Indonesian bowlers.
A score of 120, what she mentioned on the toss, and way short of that. Great effort this from the bowlers as the fielders and the batters go back in the dug. That's the scorecard for you. Malaysia women 87 for 6 in their 20 overs. A good and a strong start from Aina Hamiza and Winifred, scoring 24 and 25 respectively. But ever since that first wicket, all downhill with Elisa not being in the pick of the runs, just scoring a 3. Ismail looking in good touch for a few balls, but then departed.
And the bowlers, they did an amazing job. Lee Kiao took a wicket. May Priyani took 2. Ariana and Radharani with the wickets as well. All very economical with very good bowling from the spinners. 10 extras as well in that innings. So 87 is what Malaysia have got. 88 will be the target for Indonesia, and we'll be heading into a short break and we'll come back with the Indonesian chase. Welcome back, and it's time for the chase. Indonesia will need to score 88 runs to win this contest. Well, we have the table toppers, Indonesia and Malaysia. Earlier today, Indonesia won the toss and elected to bowl first, and I think the plan worked fine for them. 87, it's all that Malaysia got today. 88 to win for Indonesia. The Malaysian team is there, and in walks the two opening batter. And with that, I would like to welcome my fellow commentator Ridvik into the combox.
Thanks, Shahidul. And like you mentioned, 88 to get. And so far in the two matches that Indonesia have played, chased down targets comfortably in under 10 or around 10 overs. So, not an easy target to chase because of the opposition, but they would be strong favorites and would back themselves to get this score and try to get 3 out of 3 wins.
And for Malaysia, the only way to stay in this game will be to pick up early wickets. And to do that, they are starting off with Noor Dania. Again, very experienced. She's young, but she has played a lot of games for Malaysia. Was the captain of the under 19 team as well, representing Malaysia in the World Cup. Here comes the first delivery. A good start.
Yeah, right on the money. And like you said, wickets is the name of the game. They need to get those early breakthroughs to put the batters back on pressure and try to get those early calls right. They would have to go in for those half chances as well. Need to give it their all.
Well, opening the batting for Indonesia is Rahmawati and Desi, two opening batters.
AC has been a sublime touch so far in the first two matches. Done well with the bat.
Use of the feet, the ball just coming in with the angle. This is good bowling. As an off spinner, the left hander will be expecting the ball to go away from her, but that just came in sharply.
Right. And you see the plan that she's come on with. She's been very clear that she does not want to give enough room to the batter to spread her arms because she knows that Rahmawati is a good player when it comes to playing those shots. Again, suffocating the batter, not giving her enough room, trying to choke that hold. Good first four balls. They need to replicate this.
Yes, I think brilliant bowling. And she's someone who likes to bowl within herself. She doesn't like to experiment much. Stays very calm, composed, line to line. That's all she does. Just like that. Hitting the same line and length again and again consistently, it's not easy.
Right. Great consistency that. And I think it's in a game like this where it is very important for them to get an early hold. It is important that they stick to the plan, they stick to that consistently because one wrong move and that can get you in.
Oh, that was very close to the stumps as well. Brilliant over. A maiden to start off with. It's none for none.
Good response this from Malaysia. After a not so good end to their batting innings, they've come out louder. They've come on with a clear plan and intention, and they want to take this game right from the first ball. Great first over that. Desi on strike now. She's been absolutely brilliant this tournament so far. The main architect, I would say, of getting those run chases done for Indonesia and getting those victories. So she's compounded on her belief and confidence so far and would want to continue that streak and be in good touch. It'll be a good contest. This.
And it's going to be Aisha Elisa taking the new ball from the Negara end. That was a good looking shot, but finds the fielder, no runs there.
Just gently throwing her arms, playing the drive, not enough effort, effortless batting this. Like I said, hallmark of a confident batter. She's got some runs under her belt in the first two matches and would want to continue from this. Plays a great part.
Yes, I think it's all about the form that she's carrying. Look at that. Right from the middle of the bat, not trying to hit the ball too hard. That's the difference you can notice between both the sides.
Right. Very, very smooth on that note. Taking a quick single, easy single, getting her off the strike, off the mark as well. Puts the first run on board for the batting side, Indonesia.
Yes, sometimes when you're chasing, you can just get there risk free, not by trying to hit the ball too hard or do something out of the ordinary. And that's exactly what Indonesia needs to do. They're sitting right up there with a very healthy run rate as well. Before this game, they were still number one.
And they're a bunch of smart cricketers, Shaidu. The way they've approached their first two chases have always been this. They take a first 6, 7 overs, try to rotate the strike, try to get them settled, and once they sniff that chase to be soon, they just go all out.
Good looking shot. Finds Winifred. Again, the left hand right hand combination is also a worry for the bowler.
Always has been. And when both of those batters are in sound touch as well. So you need to stick to the plans for both of them separately, which puts an added layer of complication for the bowler.
Fuller delivery, again driven straight to Winifred. And I think it's good bowling as well because of backed offside field. She's just keeping the ball outside the off stump.
Right. Bowling to the fielders, I think that's very important and key, especially in the power play, because with the skill that these two batters possess, any loose delivery and they'll take it to the gap and get those boundaries which you don't want.
Let's cut away again. No runs there. Every dot delivery will pile up pressure.
It's all about who takes that advantage in the first 6 overs. Malaysia restricting Indonesia to a low target and probably throw in a wicket or there, and they would be fancying the chances to now defend it. So all depends on how they start.
Yes, you just need that opening. Oh, look at that. She lost her footing and she looks to be very flexible as well.
To end the second, it's one without loss. Ramawati yet to score her first run. Desi on strike.
Well, Ramawati and Desi both played a lot of cricket in Malaysia as well. Came in to play the interstate representing Kuala Lumpur. So they are pretty much aware of the conditions out here in Malaysia.
And that gives an added benefit. When you know these conditions well, you can phase your game out to how to suit it them.
Yeah, well bowled. She's trying to mix up her pace as well. That ball was bowled slightly slower.
And a bit of an air into that ball as well. She's done amazing in the first 7 balls. Yet to concede her first run, and that will all add to her pressure and try to get that wicket.
That's a good looking shot. Good running there. Putting a lot of pressure on the Malaysian skipper.
And we see how she's approached the two batters differently. She's gone straight and direct, targeting the stumps to Ramawati. And to the 2 balls she faced with Desi, she has gone a bit in the air, fly the ball more. So clear instructions from the background and the coaching staff, helping her execute the right plan. Good thinking and good decision making.
Yes, absolutely. And I think they know the characteristics of the two batters. So Ramawati is someone who takes the attack, who is more of an aggressor, or that's misfield, and that will go for runs. And it's gonna be the ball just stopping inside the boundary. But excellent running, 3 runs taken.
The slow outfield there, snatching 1 run away from that shot. But the fielding again, how important it is for all those fielders also to be charged and up and ready, because the choke was good and they were trying to build up pressure, but that kind of releases it somewhat.
Yes, what should have been just a dot delivery went for 3 runs. We have seen plenty of them in the first innings as well. And I think that's one area where both the teams can work on. Much better. Well, coming back to that point, Ramavati is someone who likes to take the attack, and Desi is someone who is who tries to just rotate the strike and plays more of the anchor role. So that's the reason why they're going with different field sets and different uh, strategies against both these batters.
And also the way who starts the bowling, because like they are aware of their strong suits, they would be well analyzing who to counter them the most. And she did it brilliantly in the first over, getting a maiden.
And she does well once again. 4 runs of it, three of them were very unfortunate. But after 3 overs, it's five without loss.
A good matchup so far. They've stuck to their plan and they've actually done pretty well in containing the batters so far. Like you mentioned, 3 runs, slight of a misfield that has gone against them. But apart from that one ball, it's been all golden so far.
Well, when you're defending a below par score, every run matters. And your fielders, they need to buckle up and support the bowlers. That's a poor delivery down the leg, and that will be runs. In fact, four of them.
Not a great start this. Way too loose and not a batter like this. He will not at all leave that. Completely pouncing on it, slightly glances that, and there was no fielder out there. Runs it for a four. Maybe the shackles can be broken from now on, and Indonesia looking to get into that groove, get those.
Well, the boundary coming at just the right time for the Indonesian batters. The runs were soaking up. This boundary of the very first delivery will give them that advantage. Fuller, well, again, straight to the fielder. The Malaysian fielders, they've been slightly casual.
Yeah, a bit more of an outreach needed. They need to be charged up. But now runs coming in thick and fast. A four and then a quick single to put all the pressure on Lisa. She would need to do something to get those four balls to be dot and contain. Otherwise, this seems to be the over where Indonesia batters get their hands round and try to take hold of this chase.
Well, that's the beauty of T20 format. One good over and the tide changes. Just to make things worse, that's wide.
You can feel the pressure. Trying to try a lot of things. Going against what they've done so far in the first 3 overs, but like I said, need to stick to the plans, even though it might go for runs, it might go for something, but there's a plan for a reason. And on to a third.
Or this could be a run out. Poor throw.
Slight hesitation, had a chance, had the throw be faster and more direct, could have gone. Again, need more energy in the field there.
Yes, just a loopy throw straight to the wicket keeper, allowing the batters to complete that run.
How important it is to collect and have that pickup throw as fast as possible. We mentioned in the first over, right? These half chances will be very important when defending a low score, and them not going your way is a thing that you do not need.
Yes, absolutely. And I think over the years we have seen the De Villiers, the Suresh Rainas, and all those fielders. Glenn Phillips as well, one of those examples where they might not score runs, but they will save 15, 20 runs in every game for you.
And that's the beauty about fielding, Shahidul, because fielding is the only component that is not personal but rather team specific. You save 5 runs for the team and not for yourself. Bowling is individualistic, batting is individualistic, but fielding is something that lifts everyone up.
Rightly said. Again, this time the fielder does well. And I think they have changed that fielder at cover. Now it's Mahira Izati, someone with much more experience and who is a better fielder as well.
I think in those places where it's important, like covers, you should always have your experienced players there. Most of the times, it's also the captain that takes it. A single, quick, easy single to end the fourth. 14 for 0 Indonesia after 4.
So it's going to be a change in the bowling. Noor Dania has been taken out and she will be replaced by Aina Hamiza. Gain a lot of experience amongst the top wicket takers for Malaysia. She will bring in a lot of experience, but at the same time, Malaysia will need to find a way to get a wicket or two here.
Noor Dania would have felt a bit hard done by. She had done well in her first 2 overs, but right, again, all of it going back to the drawing board. Certain plans, certain strategies lined up in situations. And like we said, it's an important phase of the game where they need a wicket. So a change probably can catalyze that.
Yes, and if she can get a wicket in here, it will work. Mas Elisa, she's not afraid to take her chances. And here comes Aina Hamiza. Fuller, that's a good looking shot, driven down the ground. Just a single, but again, very good looking shot, good timing on that.
Right. Very elegant that the bowler getting it through her legs. Tried to go for it, but couldn't get hold of it. Easy single. And like you mentioned, Mas Elisa, a good captain. Though the things have not gone her way at the start, the way she would have hoped for, but not shying away from taking out action, being proactive in her ability to get the game back.
Yes, it's all about the belief. And Malaysia will need to believe that they can win this. If they just drop their shoulders and they lose the belief that they can fight back, that's where you lose the game.
Very well said, Shahidul. Half the game is won in your head. They need to have confidence and they need to also take a cue from their innings. Anything can happen. Malaysia got off to a great start, but then they lost a couple of wickets and it were in cluster. So maybe take a note of that leaf.
Oh, that's Ariel. This should be a simple catch. Oh, she has dropped it. Oh dear. How costly will that be? Straight in and straight out. Mahira Izati, one of the better fielders in Malaysia.
Just didn't reach that ball very well and was all over the place while trying to get that. Her head was shaking, put in the dive, hands not there, sloppy this. And like I was saying, they need to grab hold of these chances, the little chances that these batters will give them. Should have been out.
Well, the bowling change almost worked. You need to take your catches for things to work.
Right, it's a team game. You can't do anything alone. You need the support of all the fielders. And on that occasion, the bowler not getting it. She's bowled well so far. She's got her line and length right about there. And she's trying for the batter to make that mistake and go the aerial route, which she did. 2 balls to end her first.
Beautifully driven. She is looking very elegant. Touch of class there. Very pleasing on the eye.
Very pleasing that. And she doesn't go for the muscle. She just strictly aligns to the stroke play and the way her bat falls onto the ball. Very elegant batting. Very well played that.
And it's always an advantage when you're playing the ball all along the carpet as well. Not taking the aerial route. Very risk free, I would say.
Like they say in the old textbook, playing down the V. And whenever you're playing down the V, it's very technically right, the lowest risk of a shot. And that's what they need right now. They need to just stick to the textbook.
Oh, again goes for the hit. Miss hit this time. Well, Ramawati, she's not holding back. If it's there in her arc, she's going to hit.
Yeah, I think they've decided that beforehand that she will go for everything that comes in. 18 without loss after 5 and a comfortable start. Given half a chances, a couple of opportunities, but there they are without any wicket. 18 without loss after 5.
Well, a brave call there. Noor Dania has been brought into the attack from the other end. Change of ends for her. Probably just trying to experiment, try to change the angles and see if something works for Malaysia. Well, they have similar starts, both the sides. Malaysia were 19 in the first 5 overs. Indonesia off to 18. Similar starts, but it's just after that 10th over where things fall apart for Malaysia.
Right. And one thing that you need to think of is like Indonesia just need to be there about, like you mentioned. They need to have a similar start because they have a target in mind and they know what to do. So not needed to take risks and Noor Dania into the attack.
That's a good looking shot. Again, a lot of confidence coming into that shot. And you can see in the body language, both the batters, they're looking very comfortable out there.
Right. The word you mentioned, I was going to say the same thing. Very comfortable in their way they're batting, not afraid of taking risks, if at all, but also comfortably okay with just playing it out for a single, trying to knock that ball around because they are aware in their abilities and they're aware of where they want to get. Noor Tanya has been good so far, but she needs to add in a lot more to get that first wicket. Won't be easy.
Oh, that's a long hop. That will be a no ball. And well done. Winifred does well. Kept it down to just 2 runs. Again, that delivery was asking for trouble. For the first time, I have seen no Dania losing control.
Right. Just as we mentioned, she's been good. Maybe the commentators curse, but and I think the batter would also be not happy with that. It was there to be dispatched square of the wicket and get that boundary. The field is absolutely open. Just a couple though.
So the free hit coming up. And that's played straight to the fielder. Aisha Elisa is there. Does well. Just a single of the free hit. They will take it.
Right. A single, not that bad a result right now, but the throw again, we saw a bit of a weak throw, a slower kind of an arm, something that they can probably try to attack a bit more aggressively.
Oh, that's a miss stumping. And that will be runs as well. Well, it will be a bit harsh to say it was a miss stumping. It was away from her, but at the same time, you need to stop those.
Yeah, if you want to get the runs squeezed in, those kind of things, you need to hold on. But you saw there, Ramavati not charging in for the first. Desi not very happy. She wanted to desperately get that double. Could have been a double as well, but Ramavati comfortable with a single.
Oh, that's well bowled. That was fired in much quicker.
Getting that line back. She's done well, but she's been unfortunate with the fielding attempt so far around her.
Played straight to cover. No runs there. One more delivery to go. It's been an expensive over.
With that no ball completely releasing the pressure off again. Almost 6 overs, no side of a wicket.
The good finish to the over. 24 without loss.
Indonesia needing 64 of the last 14, looking well in the driver's seat to get this chase wrapped up. Both the batters, the openers, as they have been in good touch so far during the tournament, continue to get that rich form of their batting into this game. They see 9 of 18, Ramavati 13 of 19.
Well, Ritvik, you are from India, and we have seen how strong that Indian side is, especially when it comes to T20 and world cricket. Probably they can have at least 2 or 3 teams of their own right now, a force to reckon with. And I don't see any other team who's going to beat them anytime soon.
Well, absolutely. The way we have the setup and every position up on grab by at least 4 or 5 players deserving of it, right from the opening slot to the middle order and even in the bowling pace attack that we have. Great sight to see. And I think that goes on to show the way the board and the coaching staff have built the team that have given them back to back tournament cups as well, where everyone was very aware of what their roles are and they know how tough it is to get. But all credit where it goes. tournaments like T20, IPL, and the domestic focus has really built on a league of players that will now probably go on to serve the nation for like the next 5, 7 years. Good times ahead, hoping.
It's a wonderful story. A great cricketing nation. And talking about the IPL, Virat Kohli won his second title. He must be a happy man.
Like they say, once it doesn't happen, but once it does, it all comes in all flow. Two back-to-back IPLs. Only the third team to do that after Mumbai and Chennai, which also shows on the dominant force they have been in. And as I recollect, once they had won the trophy last season out, their director of cricket, Mobu Bat, had told the players that they want to come in for a second where everyone, including the players, laughed. And while we say this, a beautiful shot there for a four. Greatly played that onto the leg side. No chance for the fielder. And now they're going for it. Now they're trying to get that and quickly score those runs.
And good wrists flicked it off the pads. And look at how quickly that traveled to the ropes. Again, very good timing. We have mentioned, we are talking about this even earlier. The Malaysian batters, they're trying to hit the ball too hard, whereas the Indonesian batters, they are more relying on the timing and more often than not hitting the middle of the bat. That does a lot of good to your confidence as a batter.
It's a perfect indicator for you that you've done and assessed the ball perfectly, which is what the batter wants to do. Just throwing in for a dot. And like you were saying, when you middle the ball, right, what eventually happens is that in your mind you have that second self check that the shot selection and everything that you're doing is right. It gives you a tick to continue doing that. Once you mistime a ball, in your head you start having that disbelief and you start experimenting a lot of things.
I think you even start questioning yourself. That is where the doubt comes into play. In a good looking shot down the ground. And as a batter, it's all about your confidence. If you feel like you can hit them, you can really hit them.
Absolutely. Talking about that doubt, as I was mentioning and completing the story, the director of cricket of RCB had no doubts that they will come back and retain the title. That has been the most impressive thing for me because after winning a tournament, you usually are in a mood to enjoy that. But he was certain that they would come back and defend it as we go in for the fifth one. Uh, the misfield allows for a single there. But Shaidu, tell me about Malaysian cricket. You were mentioning to me off cam that how the Malaysian cricket has progressed and a lot of cricket is played on this ground in particular, but also in Malaysia in the recent times. And how good does that do for all the players around where you host tournaments like
Yes, I think Malaysia has been wonderful host, especially when we talk about 2024. They hosted the most number of international games in the world. That's the amount of cricket that Malaysia was hosting. Even in 2025, we had the Under 19 Women's World Cup, that too in Malaysia as well. So a lot of cricket, and it only allows the game to grow. It gets more and more popular, more children from the schools coming into play. So your grassroots level, it just levels up, and you can. Oh, that's a good catch. That ball was hit hard, and a sharp catch taken by Aina Hamiza. No reaction from her, but that was a blinder.
never easy for a bowler to actually go ahead and catch it off her bowling. I think it just went on and stuck to her arms. I might be wrong, but maybe the sudden expression and the disbelief of sorts just suggests that it just stuck to her hands because it was hit very hard. And Remawati would not be happy at all. She was looking in great touch, was hitting a boundary here and there. Maybe the start and the change of luck. Can they capitalize on this?
This could just be the opening Malaysia we're looking for. Again, let's have a look at that. It came right from the middle of the bat. Oh, stuck in one hand. And look at her. No reactions. But yes, that will do a lot of good for Malaysia.
And there goes their first wicket. 32 for 1 after 7.
Well, it was Mahira Isati who dropped that catch of Rahmawati. So she'll be very relieved after that wicket.
Right, she was not wanting that the damage to be spread even further. And yeah, now they've got their player.
And yes, to redeem herself, now she has the ball in her hands as well. Mahira Izati, the leading wicket taker for Malaysia in T20 eyes, starts off with a wide.
An experienced campaigner, she, right? She is aware of how to go ahead and get those wickets at the crucial time. Probably why the captain has trusted her with the ball. Not a great start to begin with, but way to go.
Almost going through the defenses.
It's very important that Malaysia try to now, with that wicket, choke those singles, because if Indonesia continue to take those singles and rotate strike, what eventually will happen is that they will never be able to create that pressure for them to take chances and get those wickets. So it's important they capitalize now and try to hold.
Yes, I think the next few overs will be very crucial for both the sides. For Malaysia, the key will be to pick up as many wickets as possible and also stop the flow of runs. On the other hand, Indonesia will just like to consolidate.
Yeah, and this will not at all help. They need the fielders to be charged up now more so ever and get those dots in, get those quick throws in. Nilu on strike.
That's a good looking shot and well fielded. Aina Hamiza picked up a wicket in her last over. And you can see the confidence that she got from that wicket, throwing her body on the line. And I think Malaysia will need more of those. Like you said, the fielders, they need to step up.
And they need to get those wickets in clusters like we talked about, because now just a wicket would only start compounding its effect when a couple more follow. And Tessie is their player to get. But even from the other end, if they can continue to take and scalp wickets, pressure will be evened out.
Good looking shot, straight to cover, no runs there.
Confident move that. Bit of a footwork, throws her arms, plays the drive. No result, but good signs, good early signs from the bat.
Vesika Ratna Devi, batter for Indonesia. That's in the air, and that's a wicket. Mahira Izati redeems herself, picking a wicket in her very first over. Well, Malaysia trying to get their way back into the game.
Are we on course for a similar kind of innings where they lose wickets in cluster just like this Malaysia team did, and now them being on the other end, can they try to capitalize and make good use of it? Indonesia would not like this, losing wickets in such quick succession, but like we mentioned, just how we said how she was playing good shots, what she's done is given it straight to the fielder. Nilu departs.
Well, that was a soft dismissal coming from the bottom of the bat and a simple catch at covers. 2 wickets in 2 overs, just changing the tide towards Malaysia once again.
And there we have it. Nanda, the captain, and she's someone who plays her cricket sensibly. She's someone who will probably be a very difficult catch for Malaysia, but if they do, then it's game on, because Desi and Nanda have the ability to completely snatch away the game even if they're on top. And in a position like this where they don't have to take enough risks, this will be a good phase of play that Malaysia and Indonesia are going to get into. And Malaysia need to be all in, giving their 110%.
Yes, Nanda Sakarini scored 1,371 runs. And her average is very impressive. 37 average in T20 eyes. That's commendable.
You saw that shot, and I wouldn't be surprised if you asked me to take a guess, because playing your first ball in such an innings where probably it's a tilt of two quick wickets, and she plays such a beautiful and confident drive.
It's beautifully driven. The skipper gets off the mark with that single. Very confident looking shot. Like you have mentioned, we can sense that confidence in the batters.
Aware of their capabilities and aware of the way things have panned out, they need not take pressure. They need not take stress about anything that's happened. And that's a hallmark of a good player. At times, putting the context out of your mind and just playing the ball to its merit, ball by ball.
Again, played with a straight bat. And these are easy runs. Not taking any risks, just playing it all along the carpet. That's all they need. Indonesia singles.
Right? That's the writing on the wall. They know what to get. They know how they can do it. They just need to follow it to the T. Not take unnecessary chances, not take unnecessary risks. Because from here on, 49 of 11.3 should be good enough for these two experienced campaigners.
Again, fuller delivery, beautifully driven once again. And both the batters, they're looking very pleasing to the eye because they get closer to the deliveries while playing.
Not just these two batters, Shaidu. The first four, in fact, all of them playing the ball right under their eye, getting that hand movement very well. Good technical textbook batting. And as we speak, just a bit of clouds way above DLS, but still a point to note.
But it's still sunny out there. Yes, last night the rain was heavy. And like we have mentioned earlier, the ground staff did a wonderful job to ensure that the full match happens and everything was on time. So kudos to them.
Right, and there we have it in a span of a ball. The sun's bright and sunny now. Just goes on to say how beautiful I find the Malaysian weather to be. Never know what's there in store for you. So that's the end of ninth, 40 for 2. Not one of those quick chases as they have been privy to in the past two matches, but well in control so far in the halfway mark. Need another 44 of 11 at 4 per over. 48, beg your pardon.
Yeah, it should be an easy task here. All they need to do is to preserve the wickets and keep the scoreboard ticking and not try to do anything extra or extraordinary. 40 runs on the board. One more over before the drinks break. Mahira Izati will continue in here. Good shot. Just a single, but again, very confident.
She would want to end her spell with a quick wicket right before the drinks to unsettle the batters a bit. She's bowled well so far. She's already taken a wicket in her first over. Slight hesitation.
Malaysia still searching for that wicket. Oh, that was close. Very close to the bat.
And to the stumps as well. But Mahira Izati has done well, like I was saying. She stuck to the wicket line and she stuck to the kind of ball she wants to bowl to Desi. Wavering there a bit. Wide given.
A good change of pace as well. She just fired that in. The previous delivery, she was more airy. Bit of loop in the air. So I think as a bowler, you need to have subtle variations as well. But you keep the batters guessing what could be the next delivery.
Aim is to not be predictable, like you said, and keep the batters guessing. But on there, given two wides, should stick to the basics at this point in time, where you need a wicket and you've taken a wicket of your first over. Try to get that. Try to let that choke hold onto the batters.
And she's got a. She hits the timber. Another wicket. And Mahira Izati comes back after those two wides. and she got the important wicket of the opener. Desi departs after scoring 14. It's 43 for 3. Malaysia finding their way back in, and with that, we'll be heading into a short break. Drinks will be served, and we'll come back soon. Please stay tuned.
We're back after the drinks break, all refreshed in this hot and sunny temperature today, and a breakthrough that led to the drinks break. Mahira Izzati taking her second of the over of her spell, pardon, and like we mentioned, needs to stick to the plans, and this will be an important phase of the play where they try to put that pressure onto. Oh, she's oh would have gone for that appeal, but that hand of the umpire straight up, no ball. Free hit this now. Not like she would have wanted to start the drinks break.
Well, that looked pretty straight. Unfortunate. But these are the moments that can define the match for you. What could have been a wicket, now it's a free hit. And she goes for it. Finds the fielder, just one run. Malaysia will take it.
Was all over it, bouncing, charging down the ground, but just straight to the fielder for a single. And Zati now just needs to stick to her plans, get those wicket to wicket line. The wicket will come. Good bowling this, but gently played in. New batter wanting a second, but the captain not interested in no run there.
But how well Mahira Isati has bowled. Came into bowl in a very pressure situation. Picked up 2 wickets. And Malaysia will need wickets from her. She's the number one bowler. Well bowled once again.
Right. As long as she can just keep on giving those dot balls and taking those wickets, the wickets will come. But need to stick to that approach and try to make the batters unsettled, which won't be easy with the captain also there right now. But a good chase coming up. 42 more required in 10, and if the next 4 overs go Malaysia's way, you never know.
It's Nanda and Putri, the two batters out there. They will hold the key here for Indonesia. And if they can survive the next 4 or 5 overs, I think Indonesia will get there with ease. Winifred, the new bowler for Malaysia. Again, a lot of experience coming behind her.
And you see that right of the first ball. Plays it well, onto the stumps. Not much that the captain could have done. Good start to the over this. Need more of these.
And you can see the ball is just holding on the turf. It's not coming as quickly onto the bat as we have seen earlier in this morning.
Right, a bit of a hesitation when it comes to the bat. Something which they can make use of and try try to get that wicket off a mishit.
Again, a good looking shot straight to the fielder.
Winifred's starting with three dots is bowling to the captain of Indonesia. They want to keep things quiet as she goes on to the fourth. Cut it.
This time she finds the gap. Good fielding as well. Well, Winifred, decent start for her.
Driven. No run there, straight to the fielder.
Again, a good looking shot, but she finds the fielder. But yes, in the process, you have seen her bowling 4 dot deliveries. So every dot delivery here will be crucial. Malaysia, they're just trying to create that pressure on the batting side. That's aerial.
Again, that is a good stop that. We can see how the wickets help the fielding side as well. Now with 3 wickets down, they're all looking energetic and they're throwing their bodies as the 11th over ends and it's 48 for 3. 40 required of the last 9.
Well, Malaysia going for a new bowler, Dhanushri, coming into the attack. Well, Marcelisa, she's trying to bring all her bowlers in. And I think it will be very important that the youngster, she delivers as well. One bad over can really change the context of the game.
Especially after that great hold that Winifred went ahead with, but started well. Driven to the fielder, a dot ball to begin.
But again, a very good looking shot. Finds the fielder. It came right off the middle of the bat.
The offside is pretty open. The leg, I'm sorry. And anything down the leg can give runs. So you need to maintain that line and length. Just a single down the leg.
Well, I think Malaysia are being a bit more defensive. The required run rate is only 4 runs, and you have the fielders very widespread. So a lot of singles on offer. So all the batters need to do is just to get bat on ball and run.
Down the leg, like we were saying, glanced on. Will not run to the boundary though. The fielder collects it, but quick 2 runs sent off for the third. Again, like we were saying, there are open gaps on the leg side, and she needs to maintain that line if she wants to not get those easy runs in there.
Yes, and I believe the moment they get 4 runs of the over, their target is done. So the risk is very low, and with all those fielders at the edge of the circle, it only makes their life easier.
Right? Try to cut on that occasion, but like you mentioned, Raidu, they need to break this chase into now 6 balls and just target 4 of every 6. That's what they have to do. Stick to the basics, take it over by over, and they'll be through. Free on the fifth. Throws a body, goes to the fielder just for a single, the way they've been doing it so far in this over.
And it was interesting to watch. Aina Najwa, the wicket keeper, she was just showing with her gloves just the second before Dhanushri bowled that delivery, where to bowl, and she followed the same line but still went for runs. So that's something not clicking for Malaysia right now.
But that the fielder will just give a single, but that's a single again to end the over. Five coming off it. 50, 53 for three after 12.
Well, that's the type of over that Indonesia needed. 5 runs, required run rate of just 4 runs per over. That will get them home.
What this over and the overs to follow do is that if you can get those 4-5 runs in the next 4 overs, perhaps every over, your last 4 overs of the game just leave you with needing three and a half, which becomes so important and easy for them to get. On the contrary, what Malaysia would be needing them to do is get just 2-3 off here so that it climbs 5 and 6 in the last four.
Oh, yes. What a wicket from the experienced Winifred. She disturbs the wickets once again.
She's been on top form that we saw in the first over, and now she gets a wicket. Again, the shot selection there, not the best to begin with because a straight ball coming in and tried to play with a cross bat, misses it, and the wickets go for cleaning.
There's a cross batted shot of a very straight delivery. The batter can only blame herself. But Malaysia will take it. And what a time to get that wicket. Still 35 runs to defend. Another wicket in here, and Malaysia will find themselves in the driving seat.
But very interesting times, Shahidur, because throughout the two matches that they've chased, Indonesia's middle order has not been tested. The first game winning by 8 wickets and the next one winning by 10. So this is the first time that the middle order will be tested and such a crucial time where they need to play these innings out. Good contest on our lines if we get a wicket or a two or a contain a couple of overs to low scoring runs. On for her second. Again, was pretty close. The umpire not interested that.
That looked pretty straight for me. But yes, for the first time, the middle order has been exposed, and I think it's an opportunity for the batters as well.
Yeah, if they get the team out of this flux, they will have confidence rising on to the knockout. So important for them, but slightly glances onto the leg for a single. But coming to that LBW appeal out there, the umpire not interested straight away, and probably this is the thing that they want right now. They don't want to give them enough chances, the Indonesian batters. They want things to be as easy. These calls, the wickets to not just come in and play easy cricket.
But I think the key here will be Nanda Sakarina, the skipper. She will hold the key. And look at how easily she took that run. Just finding the gaps, making things very simple for her.
She's an experienced batter, and as a captain, she would want to be the anchor of this innings now. See the team home, probably hit those winning runs, or at least stay on the crease when those get hit. Winifred on for her fifth, throws her arm for a single. And even though the wicket has come, you can probably see it's still balanced because they've got their 3 runs that they wanted. And in terms of required run rate, not really a dent. So Malaysia need to get those 2-3 wickets in so that they can probably keep the tempo up from their end. Because in terms of economy as such, not hurting Indonesia.
Yes, I think they have to target the new batter. The moment she's on strike, the fielders needs to come in. Oh, that's edged, and that will go for runs. Unfortunate. Once again, a very good delivery opened her up.
Right, gets the edge, but then unfortunate for it to run past for a couple, and I think that's what it does. Just the 2 runs of the last ball and all the 2 runs of the last ball. And what happens eventually is that all the hard work that you did for the 5 just goes to be undue. 58 for 4 after 13.
Well, Malaysia realized the urgency of a wicket, and that's exactly the reason why they have brought back Noor Tania back into the attack. She'll be bowling off a quota of 4 overs. It's already bowled three, coming in to bowl the last. Again, a good looking shot.
I think it's in best in misfield there allows for a second. Not what Malaysia wants specifically at this stage of the game. 2 runs easy on the first ball gives a lot of leeway for the Indonesian batters to now just play risk free. But that's been the story for Noor Dania so far. We've seen a lot of misfields off her first 3 overs, which continues as she bowls her second ball. Lightly played there. A fielder, just a single, making it very easy now for them to chase it down.
Well, that's the problem when you have too many fielders on the edge of the circle. A miss hit, and you still get a run as a batter. So the moment you're getting 5 to 6 runs per over, it just releases that pressure of you.
Right, and that's exactly what they have to do as well. Just get those 1-2 runs as they need it. A dot on this occasion. Noor Dania 0 for 13 off a 3.3, but the way she's bowled has been pretty good with one maiden in there as well. And lay across the bat. Oh, did that? Oh, that goes past the fielder. Would have wanted to save that.
That was a drop catch. Winifred, the experienced Winifred. Yes, the ball was traveling. It was hit hard. But these are moments that will define greatness. That catch would have really changed the momentum of the game. It was Nanda. Oh, again the ball in the air away from Winifred.
Could she have actually gone for it with a couple of steps faster, tried to throw her body at it, just saw the ball travel and probably gave up?
That's what the psychological effect can do to you. An opportunity in the previous delivery and the next delivery as a fielder, you just want to get hidden. You don't want the ball to come to you, and that's exactly what happened.
Just playing that for a single. Absolutely well said, Shaidur. To end the over, 64 for 4 after 14. Required run rate now well poised at 4 per over, but with the last 6 overs, a good spell of 2, maybe 3 overs containing them down to say 7-8 runs, and the pressure will be back on. Quite well balanced if Malaysia can try to sneak in those economical overs there.
It's going to be Mahira Izati coming into bowl her third over. She's the one who took 2 wickets in the middle, which really created that hope for Malaysia.
She is the key. She needs to be there getting things done for Malaysia. Starts off with a good dot ball. And she has the ability to do that as well. She can be the architect to actually see this chase out, try to put dents. She's taken already 2 wickets off her first two. Would be looking for a third. Gives a bit of a room, plays that on. Just a single there.
Yeah. There was a wayward delivery, short and wide. Easy pickings for the skipper. But what a moment in the previous over. Nanda offered that opportunity. Winifred just couldn't capitalize.
Zati. Oh, that's tried to again cut it, misses it completely. Oh, the ball increasing the pace right off the bounce and reaching the batter maybe a tad bit earlier than they expected. Could collect this from the keeper as well.
Yes, that delivery just skidded off the turf. Probably just fell on the shiny side of the ball. Oh, good shot once again.
The aerial route was in the air. The bowler also tried to dive in, but not a catch there at all.
Well, the ball seems to be finding Winifred almost like a magnet, just following her.
Like they say, you get what you don't want, and The ball is what Winifred is not wanting right now.
And it goes to her once again. But I think as a fielder, sometimes you'll have occasions where it might not go in your favor, but then you have to let it go and focus on what's next.
Right, we were talking about it in the first innings as well. There might be mistakes, but to let go of those and keep them aside because cricket is a ball by ball game. Anything can change and anything can actually go in your favor. So, as that ends, 15 overs done, 67 for 4. Just a 3 coming off this one.
And that was a good over in the context of the game. 3 runs. If Malaysia can bowl at least 2 or 3 overs, conceding less than 4 runs, the required run rate will spike up, and that's where the batters may make some mistake.
Another slow over, and probably it will give the batters a way to go for those risky shots. And you never know, whenever playing risky shots, trying to go away from your set plan, that can lead to mistakes which Malaysia would want Indonesia to commit.
It's going to be Aina Hamiza coming back into the attack. She'll be bowling off her fourth over.
Laid it on the back foot to the fielder for no run.
Well, Ridvik, I think Malaysia somehow missed a trick, not taking an extra spinner to this game. We have seen how well the Indonesian spinners work things out. So just with that lack of pace, you can really take wickets on a pitch like this.
That goes in the air. Falls safe as the fielder tries to get that easy double in a no man's land. Right, Shaidu, that's what we were seeing in the first innings as well, where the spinners tried to choke in, and a part of that cluster of wickets that fell for Malaysia were from the right arm off spins that we had noticed. So, absolutely spot on there, where they needed more options. And in their innings so far as well, we've seen how well Izati has done. So, going for Amiza, going for a third ball, or played it on a drive straight to the fielder again. But now the shot's coming in. Nanda, really experienced campaigner. She knows what to do. She's been playing them elegantly, and that's looked well so far for her.
Yes, and with pace on offer, it allows the batters to be more expressive because the ball is coming very nicely onto the bat. It's a good track so far.
Way off. Just messing her length there. Gives an extra run. Every extra run should be avoided as much as they can. It's what hurts them the most at this stage of the play. Absolutely criminal.
And we have seen in women's cricket where it has been dominance of the spinners for most of the countries. Oh, that's flicked away beautifully in the gap. Long chase here for Danusri. But just using the pace on the ball, easy runs.
Right, not trying to muscle that away, just playing it gently at the very last second, getting that gap correct, splitting the field between the keeper and the fielder, run past for two, and that's what they have to do. Just like they just have to get those ones and twos flowing in because the balls would come in, as we've seen so far. They have given the batters an ample opportunity to get those runs. Played it with the cross bat straight to the fielder. Just a single off deep mid wicket. The ball rolling into the keeper. The runs just not going away. They've managed somehow to get those threes, fours, fives of every over, which is not put a stopgap as Hamiza goes on to bowl. A last ball of the spell, 1 for 22 so far, would want to end it strong. Laid it as a square cut. Confident stroke will just give them a single, but that's what they need right now. As the 16th ends, it's 74 for 4. Just 14 needed now. So, Shaidur, what we were mentioning before, in that phase of the game where in the 12th to 16th over they managed to get those 4 and 5 runs of every over, the run rate will creep down. And in the later half of the day, they need not take that pressure and just play around. Even if a slow over comes in, with just 3.5 runs required now, Indonesia would be fancying their chances of half a foot in there.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's the right approach, and they batted very sensibly, just like that. So they have good match awareness, where they have realized that the fielders are all on the edge of the circle. So they picked up those singles, putting pressure back on the opposition.
And just an off thought, in a phase like this, or maybe prior to this, just go for an attacking field. Try to get that choke on, curb that singles, curb that flow of runs. Maybe you get hit for a boundary or so, but if in that they lead to a couple of wickets, that's something that can help them and do great wonders.
Yes, and creating that urgency for a boundary, which also brings in the risk of the batter making a mistake. So that's a trick they missed. Look at that.
That's a beautiful drive on there. Way off, stretches her arms. A single again. Something that hurts Malaysia right now, but completely okay and the way forward for the batters there.
And I love the confidence of the skipper, Nanda. I was there with her at the toss, and she told me that whatever happens, we want to win. And they have played like winners, slightly aerial on that occasion. And yes, I think it has been a dominating performance by Indonesia.
They would be fancying the chances midway, and when she walked in, the wickets were falling around her. So to have that temperament and to have that composure speaks why she's been such a successful captain for Indonesia. Now, 78 for 4. Should have been taken that. Fielding not been up to the mark. Late in the game, but all these chances need to be taken. Winifred also not happy visibly. Now the required runs under 10, need 9 now as Winifred runs in to get the end of the over. Straight to the fielder, but just a single, gently playing that. No shot again. 80 for 4 after 17, and now just 8 runs required the last 3.
Well, Indonesia on the verge of that famous win against Malaysia, the host. Well, they have outplayed Malaysia in almost every aspect of the game. And it's a little too late, but Mahira Izati will still try her luck and see if she can find a wicket here.
I think someone who can get you that wicket as well, because she is someone who's bowled well, who's bowled 99 on this occasion, just pads it away for a single. But do you think it's a bit too late now? Just 7 now required from 3 overs. It's Indonesia's game to lose at this point, so
Well, technically, it's near to impossible for Malaysia until something miraculous thing happens. And yes, cricket is a funny game, but we have to be realistic. Indonesia are just moments away from sealing the game, and you have to give kudos to their skipper. She's the heartbeat of the Indonesian batting unit, experienced batter, and she leads from the front. We have seen her captaincy making all those big calls, how she rotated the bowlers, and now how well she has batted out there.
and it's not been very easy for her because people would say that the first 10 games, first 10 overs of the game didn't go her way, but she's bounced back with the remaining 30 and how she's done it. Again, goes back to the same point, proactivity.
Yes,
nicely.
and you also need to be calm and composed, because often in a pressure situation you lose your temperament, and that's where you make things go worse. I think she has been calm, and whenever Indonesia needs calmness and experience, more often than not, they look towards their captain. That's going to be a wide.
This is the keeper. Take on a single as well, and now just a hit away. Just need 2 runs to finish off this historic win here. Go 3 of 3 with a dominant performance.
And they will be the clear winners. Very dominating performance here for Indonesia. Another single. Well, it has to be the captain to score the last run. 1 run needed. The scores are level. Indonesia are home. And what a performance! They were under immense pressure in the first 10 overs of the match, but since then, they have not looked behind. Clinical performance. And the skipper on strike. Can she finish it off? No. We have to wait a bit longer. That will end the over. Mahira Izzati completes her 4 overs. 4 overs, 20 runs, 2 wickets for her. It's 87 for 4. Well, Malaysia, they had their chances. We have seen some drop catches, some fumbles in the field. Those were the key moments where they let the game go away from them. And now they will finish second in the group. Oh, that's the single, and that will seal the game for Indonesia. They've got home with 6 wickets in hand. A clinical performance. Malaysia, they tried their luck out, but only managed to get 4 wickets for them. So 88 was the target, and Indonesia there with 6 wickets to spare. What a win! And with that, they will finish unbeaten in Group C and lead the charts. Fantastic win for Indonesia. This will give them the momentum they require. They're done with the group stages, advancing into the second stage. Well, they will go in as the table toppers. The host Malaysia got beaten. There's the batting card for you. Ramawati started off well, 18 for her. Desi, 14. But then it was the stability from the captain, Nanda Sakarini, 25 not out. And supporting her was Fitria Radharani, 15 for her as well. As far as the Malaysian bowling was concerned, Nur Tania started off well, but she didn't get any wickets. Aina Hamiza took 1 wicket. She was slightly expensive. So was Mahira Izzati, 2 wickets for her, and 1 for Winifred. So Malaysia lost this game. Indonesia were victorious, winning this game by 6 wickets. There's the match summary for you. Indonesia winning the toss, putting Malaysia into bat. 87 for Malaysia. Winifred top scoring with 25. Fitria Radharani taking 2 wickets. So did May Priyana. And in response, Indonesia getting there with 6 wickets to spare. Captain Nanda Sakarini top scoring with 25. Mahira Izzati picking up 2 wickets for Malaysia. So that's it from the Combox. But please stay tuned. We'll be catching you shortly for the post-match presentation.
Welcome. It is time for the post match presentation of the match that just concluded between Indonesia and Malaysia. Not the day that the hosts would have wanted it for it to go, but great sign of happiness for the Indonesian team, who now go 3-3 and are the table toppers. I would like to call upon the player of the match, the captain herself, Nanda. Congratulations, Nanda. With the match referee, Shivani Mishra. We'll have a word with Nanda later on. I would now like to call upon the losing captain, Captain Malaysia. Not a great day that you wanted. On toss, you mentioned that you wanted to score around 120, way short of that. Where did it go wrong?
Yes, I think our opener starts really good, but we have a lot of dot balls. And then I think if we score 120 just now, we will win the game. But unfortunately, it didn't come to our way. I think because of the myself not scoring, Mahira not scoring, so few batsmen didn't score. So I think that's a lacking part of the batting side.
On the batting front, we've seen a template of cluster of wickets falling. Had a strong partnership opening, but once the first wicket fell through, never could take charge. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think after so long we try to manage no wicket. It's good. We need an Aina doing the partnership, but after the one wicket they're like dominoes and then they're falling apart. I think we need to stay along, we need to play along, but we need to come back strong for our batting side.
Tough day at the office, but I wish you all the best for your remaining games and hope you have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would now like to call Nanda, captain of the winning team and also the player of the match, now for her quick thoughts. Nanda, run us through that run chase. Had become difficult at parts, but you held it all together and a good, solid chase in the end.
I think 87 is achievable for our team. So the plan is just play straight and play the single run.
Absolutely, and we saw that. Being the captain, how much of a confidence and reassurance does it give when your openers, specifically Desi, has been so well and has been consistently ranking up runs throughout?
I think my batters opening batters Desi, she did really well and she very calm for our team. So it's important for us.
Nanda, table toppers, 3 out of 3, but I'm sure there's something that you know you can improve on. What would that be?
I think it's the fielding. We need to improve our fielding, so we need to chase the ball so they don't get the 2-run easy.
Absolutely. Wish you all the best for the remaining matches and congratulations on the performance you've had today. So that's it from the post-match presentation. I am Ritvik Saxena, signing off on behalf of the camera crew, the production crew, and my co-commentator, Shaidur. We'll be there for the second match today, so stay tuned.